Well, welcome back to my channel. Just getting started for real this time. So thank you for coming back and joining me. On yesterday, we got started on the experiment for the $1,000,000 weekend, launching a the surprisingly simple way to launch a 7-figure business in 48 hours. Okay, so what we want to do is just go over the 3 challenges that we talked about yesterday. Okay, the first challenge was asking for $1. Okay, and so if you notice, I put in my description a link that says buy me a cup of coffee. Well, I have someone that purchased a cup of coffee for me, so that was my first contribution to this channel and to my launch, to my challenge. So I'm happy about that. Okay, and then the second challenge was talk to a friend, someone that you trust, their business sense. Ask them about a business idea based on how well they know you and what they think that you're capable of doing. And I did that, and my friend said, well, Cheryl, you're so good at computer stuff. Okay, she says you're good at registering for events, registering to pay for seats, buying seats online, creating graphics in Canva. And actually, I was recently surprised to meet someone a little bit younger than me who had never even used Canva. I couldn't believe it. I thought everybody used Canva, but I come to find out that that's not the case. I guess everybody doesn't need to. I'm good at filling in forms, creating forms, turning forms from Word to PDF, making them fill-ins, organizing events, phone etiquette, customer service, and more. So all of these things that she pointed out sounds like a virtual administrative assistant, right? So, okay, so I'll be adding that to my list of things to consider for my 48-hour weekend to becoming a millionaire. Um, challenge number two, that was challenge number two. Challenge number three is choosing my freedom number, and that's the monthly short-term revenue that I need to earn in order to feel successful. Okay, that I'm on my way. So now we are talking about chapter 2. Chapter 2 is called the unlimited upside of asking. We talked about in chapter 1 that we got to start and we've got to ask. So the process of getting, Noah talks about how the process of getting yeses can feel demoralizing and sometimes pointless, okay? But a way that his dad taught him to look at it, and it's a great perspective, is to grow to love rejections, okay? Grow to love rejections, set rejection goals. Set the goal at the beginning of the day that you're going to, not stop asking until you have 100 no's. That's a lot. You got to have some tough skin for that. The upside is unlimited. The downside is minimal. He says that when you aim for rejection, you become fearless. Okay, you're not afraid to ask for the business or the sale. The act of asking is a power all of its own. Now, I believe from what I'm reading here, his father is from, I think it was from Pakistan, and he says that in their language or their culture, you have to have chutzpah. So in modern terms, perhaps we can call that nerve or audacity. Have some big, hairy audacious goals, right? And then we have to do it with tenacity, doing what it takes. As some people call that being a hustler. You have to do what it takes to get done what you're hoping to achieve. So, as we know from scripture, that the Bible says, ask and you shall receive. So we want to use that attitude with this challenge. We want to not be afraid to ask. So also he talks about developing your ask muscle. And the thing about developing an ask muscle, I know I'm guilty, and maybe you are too, that you don't want to ask somebody something because you're afraid of being judged, about why can't she get that for herself, or I don't know, just different things that we are concerned about, how we present ourselves to other people. But sometimes you have to ask yourself, who's paying your bills? Okay, it's not them, it's you. Okay, so you have to do the asking. Um, People are going to judge you whether you do or whether you don't. If you don't do things, they call you lazy. They call you, they say you lack ambition and drive and motivation. But if you do these things, they say you're doing the most, you're extra, and that it doesn't take all of that. Okay, so you can't let people's opinions of you stop you. Okay, now you have to have a breakthrough. You have to break through the fears um, and the objections and step forward into the uncertainty. So with the first ask, we have to look at it as a game. Okay, it needs to be a game-changing skill that starts my $1 million business and redesigns my life. When I read that, I became convicted because, of course, I'm fearful of asking people. Of course, I've been concerned about how people view me. Right? These things have, at this point, limited my potential of being a successful business owner. Um, for me, if I get five no's, I'm done. I don't want to go any further. But Noah's suggestion is, just keep going, don't stop, because a lot of times, if there's 11 no's that you need to get to that first million, and you stop at number 10, you're a failure. You've already lost. And I can honestly say that I feel like that has happened to me on more than one occasion, that I stopped too soon. And, I was well on my way to that door being open and just didn't keep going, just didn't press my way. Um, so so I'm gonna break through that fear right now. In my link below, in my description below, I've got a link that says buy me a cup of coffee. So my ask to you today is to click that link. No donation is too small, but make a donation to buy me a coffee. That's my ask. That's my assignment for you today, or for me today, is to ask you for that cup of coffee. Now, it is a small ask, but it's an ask nevertheless. So please click the link in the description. Okay, now developing my ask muscle doesn't mean that I'm scared to ask people, that I won't be scared to ask people or feel the pains of rejection. You're gonna feel disappointed, you're gonna feel sad, you're gonna, have all kinds of feelings when people tell you no, but you can't let that deter you and stop you from moving forward. So Noah talks about a way that what he does to get past the fear and sadness is he says, I probably um, never see that person again, never talk to that person again. And all of these things save me the potential of being embarrassed in the future. You ask them, you move on. So he says turn rejection into a game. Okay. Now, one of the text that he talked about is go to like a Starbucks or a Panera Bread or a deli or somewhere, and get your cup of coffee, your sandwich, your, whatever it is that you're getting. And when they ring up your total, ask them, can I have 10% off? And they may say, well, what's that about? And they said, just tell them that you are taking a business class, and that's one of the assignments that you have, and just see what happens. What's the worst scenario? They can look at you like you're crazy and say no, or they can give you that 10%, but it doesn't really matter. The point is that you are exercising your ask muscle and not being afraid to ask for 10% off of your order. Okay, so I'm going to do that in the morning. I need to get some gas in my car, so I'm going to go to a Quick Trip or racetrack or something like that. I'm going to buy a cup of coffee. When I get to the register, I'm going to ask, may I have 10% off on my tab, and see what they say, and I'll let you know. Okay, they can look at me like I'm crazy and say no, but I'm going to smile regardless and say thanks and have a great day. Now, Noah's ask was for me to write a review about his book. Now, not only will I do that on Amazon, but I'm doing this review now. I really am enjoying this book. I feel like everybody should get a copy of it. and take the challenges and stretch yourself, you know, and just see what can happen. Remember, it's an experiment. Now, one of the things that he talks about, you know, when you're deciding what type of business to launch, is to remember that the customer comes first. Don't launch something that you want to do, you know, but you have to think about, is this something somebody really needs, that they have to have, you know, that they'll get from you? So I'm gonna make this very short because today is Friday. Today is Friday, okay? And that means that my 48-hour weekend is about to start. So I am about to embark on chapter 3 because it's Friday. My $1 million weekend is about to begin. And in these next 3 chapters, over the next 48 hours, I'll execute a simple but effective 3-step $1 million weekend process for entrepreneurial experimentation that will be the engine to create my dream business. Right now, I'm leaning towards particular virtual administrative tasks like building websites, um, email campaigns, just different things that I can do. Um, but I want to talk to you about that on my next video and just move forward so that I can run on and see what the end's going to be. I want you to go ahead and drop a comment. Let me know if you're following along, if you did your challenges 1, 2, and 3 and how it went. And if you plan to continue watching me as I experiment with this book, $1 Million Weekend. Okay, so I'm gonna cut this short because I've got work to do on my way to being a millionaire. See you next time.